Guys, the monkeys are listening. All right, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to be ranking random adventure games, 20 of them. So this is unvarnished. This is walking a tightrope without a net underneath. There's no scripting, none of this. In fact, most of these games were all just chosen, just thrown out together right now. We chose, or we had our Facebook community choose 20 random adventure games for us to rank. And I know people know the show. I know people know me because there's some games that they chose in here that I have strong opinions about. It's going to be an awesome show. So we're going to be doing this tier maker thing. Yeah, it used to be a popular thing to have tiers. It was like all over the internet for a long time, and I may be a little late to the party, but by God, I'm showing up to the party. We're going to be ranking these games with tier maker. So first of all, let me ask a question. What the heck is this S tier? Why is there an S at the top of this tier maker list? Well, that's unacceptable. We're going to call this the best. The best, because A, B, C. Okay, and that gives us another issue. E? What the heck is this E? E, F is last. F is last. A, B, C, D, E, F. I never got an E in school. So we're gonna change this to F minus. That's the bad tier. And there's some games on here that I didn't play, so D stands for didn't play. Okay. And so that means we're going to have to... yeah, F is behind didn't play because it's obviously bad. All right, so we're going to get started here. I don't know if this is the list, or this is how we're going to go about it or not. But let's see. Let's start with one that I definitely have played. All right. So these are adventure games. Again, this was chosen. I didn't choose these games, but we're going to rank all 20 of them. Let's go with first and foremost. Let's start with okay, we're going to go good right off the bat. We're going to go with Pandora Directive. Now, C's not where this goes. I'm just putting it right here so everybody can see what we're working with here. So, Pandora Directive was an incredible game. Probably the second best full motion video game ever made, second to Gabriel Knight 2. Pandora Directive is in my top 10 adventure games of all time. And if you are in a top 10 adventure games of all time list, you're going to go the best. That's the best. That's better than an A. That's the best. So, the Pandora Directive is the best. So, let's go next to, okay, here we go. Tony Tuff. Tony Tuff and the Night of the Roasted Marshmallows or something. I don't remember what that game was called, but I remember I didn't care for it. And that was a time when I ate up every adventure game that came out. I adored every adventure game that came out, whether it was good or it was bad. But I didn't care for Tony Tuff. It probably had something to do with the voice. The voice of Tony it didn't resonate with me. In fact, it was very whiny. It was gross. The voice was gross. The puzzles were okay for a cartoony adventure game. I loved cartoony adventure games, especially right then. But Tony Tuff, it just wasn't that good of a game. There was nothing special about it. It was just kind of there. So, all right, that's what C's going to be. We just named what C is. Just kinda there. All right, that's there. Okay, so Tony Tuff was just kind of there. That was the turn of the 2000s, pretty much when that came out, and definitely was not the golden age of adventure games. But let's talk about the golden age of adventure games now. So we have Myst. Myst. Okay, this is going to make some people hate me, possibly dislike me, possibly agree with me, probably. But in my opinion, Myst just wasn't that great of a game. I mean, I appreciate what it was doing. I appreciated that Myst had something there that hadn't been done before. It was artsy. It was something that you could do with your CD-ROM now. They were selling this in coffee shops. They were selling Myst in coffee shops. It was one of the greatest marketing campaigns that I can ever remember in my life. They made you think that you absolutely had to like it, and if you didn't care for it, then you weren't American. You weren't art. You didn't care for art. Myst was just okay, but people make it out like it was one of the greatest games of all time. I give it credit for where it was and when it was, but looking back, comparing it to other games that came out at the time, other games that came out after that were better, other Myst games were better. Riven was great. So it's not like I don't like the whole picture style games. Journeyman Project was great. I enjoyed those. Myst 1 didn't do it for me. I'm going to put that in the just kind of there category. It's just kind of there for me. Okay. Oh, where are we going to? Okay. Willie Beamish. Oh, man. So this was an adult game hidden in a youth package. Willie Beamish was me at that age. You know, they really targeted their audience right. I mean, it was the whole gaming, skateboarding, likes girls, just that preteen, very much a preteen time of people's lives. And that's what Willie Beamish was. It's been a long time since I played it, but I know like his father lost a job. And so he had to like win some money for the family. If I remember, he was, you had to actually make it to the Nintari Gaming Championship. Nintari. Brilliance. That is brilliance of a name, because why wouldn't you call a gaming console at that time Nintari? And like I said, it had everything that you liked as a kid, and that game was special to me. To me back then, had a lot of adult undertones in it. I'm gonna go with the B. That Willie Beamish was a B student. And it took a lot of time before I actually completed Willie Beamish. I was an adult when I actually completed Willie Beamish. So Willie Beamish is in the B tier. Okay, what else we got here? Let's go here. Return to Monkey Island. This is a popular one. I mean, this is popular right now. Very, very timely. Return to Monkey Island just came out. I finished it, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It wasn't hard in any way, shape, or form. 30 years it took for Ron Gilbert to get back on the pirate ship and start making Monkey Island games again. And Return to Monkey Island was a solid game. If we're actually ranking Monkey Island games, I go LeChuck's Revenge, number 1, Secret of Monkey Island, it's hard between. I'm going to go with Curse of Monkey Island, number 2, Secret of Monkey Island, number 1, Return to Monkey Island, number 4, Tales, and then Escape from Monkey Island. But in this category, though, Monkey Island was it's B, a B game. I do agree with our friend Pushing Up Roses when she says that it was one of the best adventure games that she'd played in a long time. That's true. There's not been a lot of great adventure games over the past 10 years, but there's been some very good ones, and that's a very good game. So, Return to Monkey Island, it sits firmly in B, the B category, the B slot. You are graded B. Next, we're going to go with, let's get a couple of these out of the way, ones that I have not played. So, Whispered World, I haven't played it. I don't know why. I asked people to choose adventure games randomly, all over the spectrum, and that was thrown in there. So, Whispered World did not play. Let's see, was this Relentless? Twinson's Adventure number 2. I didn't play it. Played number 1, Relentless, and I thought that was a lot of fun. But I did not play number 2, so that's out. Is there any others that I have not played in here? And the answer to that is no. Okay, so let's go and let's just go right here along the line here. So Last Express was a very good game, very good story, rotoscoped graphics. I hadn't seen anything rotoscoped prior to The Last Express. Probably a top. I think it was in my top 25, and it was one of those games that when it came out, it didn't entice me. Everybody said it was great, and I told myself I better just play this game. And this was probably 10 years ago that I tried it. I played it, and the way it looked initially, it just didn't captivate me. However, I'm glad that I played it. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm going to actually call this an A game. Definitely not a top 10 game for me. It is in many people's top 10s. However, for me, it's just a very good game. So Last Express is going in. It gets an A. It's going in the A tier. Sanitarium. Let's talk about Sanitarium a little bit. Definitely one of the more scary adventure games that came out. This is one of those adventure games that makes you, or one of those, we'll just say anything, that makes you just not want to trust your father. You shouldn't always do what your father tells you to do. And that's, I don't know if you guys have played it, but that's kind of the theme. You're finishing your father's work a little bit. And it's been a long time since I played Sanitarium, but I remember I enjoyed it quite a bit. One of my favorite horror adventure games. And I'm going to say it's definitely in the B tier. Toonstruck. Let's talk about Toonstruck a little bit. Another full motion video game. Christopher Lloyd, Flux. It has a wonderful sidekick. Very popular game. I know people have been clamoring to get number 2 for a long time, and I don't think we're going to get number 2. However, number 1, it was a fun game. It was certainly crazy. I mean, it was the epitome of crazy, and I don't think the full motion video worked with it. If it was just an animated game, I would have felt a whole lot better. It just didn't feel natural for me to have Christopher Lloyd walking around as a human inside all of these crazy scenes that's going inside an arcade with a bunch of crazy Who Framed Roger Rabbit type characters, with a masochistic cow being whipped. The irony of a masochistic S&M cow being whipped. Yes, so Toonstruck, I think it's overrated. I believe I had that like number 77 in my top 100 lists. So Toonstruck is just kind of there. It's just kind of there for me. It felt unfinished too. I've seen what number 2 was supposed to be about, which is like the ending story, or it was supposed to be like a full game mixed into 2. And I think it would have been better if I got the full and complete story. So just kind of there. So here we go. Jack Orlando. Jack Orlando was a terrible game. And that's hard for me to say, too, because it had everything that I wanted in an adventure game at that time. Gosh, I had to play this is 25 years ago, something along those lines. I remember just thinking that the puzzles for me as a very young man, I was probably like 15-ish when I played it, it didn't capture me. Nothing about the game captured me. In fact, it was the opposite of that. It repelled me. I am obsessive compulsive, truly obsessive compulsive, OCD. And when I start something, I have to finish it. If I cannot finish it, it hurts inside my belly. And so I say that only because I want you guys to understand that I started that game and I didn't finish it. It crashed a couple times on me on my computer. I tried to catch up and I just never enjoyed it. And it was one of those games that was just bad. You are an F. You're going to get, let's see. It's like,
you get nothing. You lose.
Nothing. You get nothing. It's terrible. You are an F minus. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Jack Orlando. Beneath a Still Sky. Let's talk about Bass. One of the greatest adventure games of all time. Now, the only thing that I'm going to have a hard time deciding is if this is going to be in the best or A tier. If I could do this like right here, right in between, that's probably where it would be. It's outside of my top 10, but definitely better than Last Express, in my opinion. I'm gonna put it at A because we're gonna keep the best for the best games. The best. That was an awesome story. Very much loved Joey as the sidekick. Beyond the Still Sky was not good, but Beneath the Still Sky was Beneath the Still Sky. Beneath the Still Sky was a great game. We're gonna go in the A tier. The Longest Journey. One of those games that was very, very, very popular. It's considered one of the greatest games of all time. Myself, I consider that one of the greatest games of all time. I would like to see The Longest Journey being turned into like a Netflix series. It was ahead of its time. The protagonist, I'm not normally one to enjoy playing as a female character because I don't relate to a female character as because I'm a man. I mean, I don't relate to female characters in that way. I don't. It's not something that automatically I choose. Okay, I'm going to leave my real life and go into a game. I want to have something that I can have something exciting that I could kind of see myself in. But I enjoyed every minute of her character. Her character was sweet. She was charming. And I loved The Longest Journey. Definitely an A-tier game. And I'd love to see more of The Longest Journey games. More of those games. The second one, what was it? Dreamfall, I believe. It was very average. But The Longest Journey, up there. Deathgate. So this one's hard for me to analyze because I played it when I'm talking a wee one. And I know I didn't complete it. There was circumstances that did not allow me to complete it, also known as me stealing the game and people wanting their game back. I remember it being kind of like an role-playing style, picture style game. I just don't have enough data to rank it properly. But I remember thinking that at the time that I was really, really enjoying it. And that cover art deserves to be, boom, the best. But right now, because I don't have enough data to truly rank it, I'm going to put it as just kind of there. Thimbleweed Park. Thimbleweed Park is it is a wonderful game. 99.888.6 no, that's not math. 99.8886% of the game was incredible. the ending was terrible. I couldn't stand the ending. I was very, very upset. And I mean, a lot of people call me a hypocrite because of that, because I loved the LeChuck's Revenge ending. But this one truly left me hanging. This one truly made me feel like everything I had done was void. And it makes it a B game. It's a B game for me. It was fun. It was one of those games that's best described as fun, but the ending just knocks it down for me. Gemini Rue, one of those games that helped me transition back into adventure games, a popular style of game right now, especially with everyone clamoring for pixel art, a wonderful story. And again, I give this probably extra credit than it deserves, because it helped me launch back into my adventure game fandom after a lull in that. We're gonna put that in the B category. Now, I know that Broken Sword 3 was planted in here on purpose because I have strong opinions about Broken Sword 3. I love the Broken Sword series. If you watch me, if you know me, you know that I am a huge and avid Broken Sword fan. 1 and 2 were amazing. I won't talk about 3. 5 was amazing. 4 was terrible. Broken Sword 3 was really good. The story was really good. They changed a lot in this. They tried to make it action. In fact, Chuck Cecil at the time said that it is an action-based adventure game. They went 3D. I remember it being pretty quirky when, like, the angles and stuff were really hard for me to figure out. There was a lot of box puzzles. There was a lot of ledge puzzles, and I enjoyed every minute of those. Probably not true. I enjoyed a lot of that. There were some that were just a little too much. This is a B game. Come at me. Come at me. This is a B game. I enjoyed it. Great story. You're back at the Templars. There was some quick choices that you have to make in this game. I hadn't noticed those, but prior to Broken Sword, and it's all the rage right now. Broken Sword 3 was a B game. Very good. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Shadows of the Comet. What do you call? Like, I don't know how to actually say the full name, so we're going to call it Shadow of the Comet. It was a scary game. Creepy. I remember the controls being very, very clunky. You had to be right next to something, right? If you needed to get through a door real quick, you had to be right at the door. You had to be well, when I first played it, we'll say this: I played it only on a keyboard when it first came out, and that was terrible. That was a bad experience. However, they did end up coming out with like a further a patch type thing, where you were allowed to use your mouse, but all that ended up doing was kind of changing the arrows and making it easier to move the arrows. And it's one of those games where you have to move quickly because people are coming at you. You could die pretty easy, and it was scary. And so if you got something chasing after you, you got to move around pretty quickly and make quick decisions, and you can't really do that with this game. It turned what could easily be an A-tier game, which might have, like, this might have been a top 20 game for me if they would remake this and do like pure point and click. It would probably be an A tier. But as of now, it's hovering somewhere in between, just kind of there, and B tier. But I'm leaning towards being nice, and we'll call it a B tier game. Now, Discworld Noir. Discworld Noir, kind of a change of the type of Discworld game that we are used to. I shouldn't say kind of. It was very much a change from the type of Discworld game that we were used to. 1 and 2 was absolutely insane. I mean, moon logic puzzles and everything. Discworld Noir was not quite moon logic puzzles. It was close to a top 20 game for me. Different characters that you're working with. I'm gonna put this as an A tier game. It's an A tier game. Better than Discworld 1 and 2. Better than Discworld 1 and 2. Oh, by the way, Discworld 1. For some reason, I didn't realize that they were back to back. Discworld 1 was bat poop. Bat. It was crazy. The moon logic on it was absurd. When I was a teenager, when I was even a young man and trying to play it again, I could not get out of the town. And again, I referenced me having obsessive compulsive disorder. I don't like using hints. I don't like searching how to walk through things because it diminishes the game for me. It diminishes my ability. It puts an asterisk on completing the game. There was no way I was going to beat that game without using a walkthrough. And if you beat it without using a walkthrough, if you were to come over here and say, Joshua from Weird Gaming Adventure, if you were to tell me that I beat this game, I would call you a liar. I'd call your bluff. You are lying. Somebody told you, whether you didn't look up, your friend told you something, you looked up, what was the computer gaming, PC gamer hints in the back of the magazine or something to walk you through it, because there was some crazy stuff in that. I wanted to like that game so badly, because it was everything that I liked in the game. It was humor, it was comedy, it's what I wanted to like. But it was insane. The puzzles were stupid. It was stupid. Put some logical puzzles in there and then it might be up here. But instead it's in between Just Kind of There and Discworld. And because we don't have enough in the Just Kind of There, I'm going to put it Just Kind of There. And that's it. That's it. That's 20 games, random games that I've ranked. These were all, again, chosen by our Facebook group. So if you want to join our Facebook group, if you want to join our Discord, jump into the description, and I will have all the links over there. If you want to check out adventure games, go to Adventure Game Hotspot. We have daily adventure game columns. We have 26 columnists and a bunch of other admins and stuff. We're just churning out adventure game content. It's good stuff. I just realized that we have save or download here the whole time. Grrr! All right, well, we'll have to block those out because that doesn't look good, guys. Okay, I appreciated this. This is so much fun. I really, really liked these ranking things. Why haven't I done this sooner? I'm gonna have to do more, because it was a lot of fun. So if you guys have any suggestions as to the kind of games that I should rank using this ranking tier, it's super fun. It's really easy to put out these kind of games, and I don't have to stick to a script. I could just ramble. I could be crazy. I could be weird. And this is Joshua from Weird Gaming Adventure. If you like the video, like the video. If you really like the video, punch that I hate when people say punch the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe. Hit the subscribe button as passionately as you would urinate in a pool. I'm talking, that's passion. We have a lot of back catalog of adventure games, and I'll be making more videos per month or per week than I have been. Maybe 2 adventure game videos a week, maybe 3. I don't know. Subscribe. Find out. See you in the next video, my friends.